Hi, fellow traders. Hope everybody had a good day today. Seemed to be a lot of good trades taken in chat today. I did catch one real good one, FSLR. Pretty much the setup that I like. 5-minute open range breakdown and then an all-day fade. But I'll be recapping that in another video. This is just dealing with the trades I took in the small account. And actually that trade I could have taken, but greed got in the way as always, but I'm working on it. One thing I have to say, the reason for me doing these trades and videotaping them and commenting on them is to really help those who are just starting out, who have $1,000 or $1,500, $2,000 that they're willing to, put in an account and start trading, that they're able to understand all of the things that you're going to experience. A lot of nothing's ever perfect. And then, when we look at still charts, the action has already happened. So it's easy to say I would get in here and I would get out here. But when the price action is going and you've got the stock moving up and down, it creates a lot of indecision. It makes you uncomfortable. And if you don't understand how to channel those emotions in the right place and how to respond to them, it's going to cause you to make silly mistakes. And it's been a long time since I've traded with an account this small, but I feel I know how to grow it. And I know that you have to be patient and take baby steps. And so that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm doing the things that I did when I first started, and you're going to start to see me develop and me tell you different things and do things a little bit differently, because that was the evolution of my success. And then, you're going to see why trading stocks like FSLR, where I could only take 200 shares, that would have paid $400 or $500 today. And then you'll see the 3 trades that I took today and how I managed to scrape by and, pull out what I did. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not going to have those FSLR trades every day. So these are the trades that you're going to have, in between. And you want to learn how to maximize your potential on these and how to manage them. So, we're going to get into it. I've got 3 videos. So we're going to get into it and see what we've got here. All right, the first trade I was looking at was RIG, and it was a reversal. All 3 trades I took today were reversal trades, and unfortunately I couldn't draw the line. The resistance line on here was at 1276, I believe, and so I couldn't draw it on here until the stock moved up a little bit higher, but it never did get high enough for me to be able to draw the line. So I'm trading watching my Thinkorswim charts. I don't trade watching these charts. And sometimes, and you'll see on the next trades I was able to draw the lines. But what I want you to see, what I'm looking at, is I'm waiting for this to make a turn. And it's got to go along with the SPY. Because if you see this run up, look at the SPY. It made kind of the same run up. This started it, and this kind of followed. So what I'm looking for is the SPY to start turning red. And, and I'm watching the price action, and we've got a lot of indecision right here at 65. So what I decided to do was this thing is probably not going to get up. You see, I've got 68 in here right now. This thing is probably not going to get to 68 or get to 70. You know, right now I'm trying to determine where I want to put my order. And what I'm doing is I'm looking at level 2, and I'm looking at time and sales. You know, I know where the resistance level is. It's at 76. And I know, and I've got the feeling based on what I'm watching that this isn't going to make it to, you know, the area that I'm looking at, that I'm going to have to catch it early. And so about right now, I'm thinking the best price for me to put in is 65. You know, that gives me 10 or 11 cent stop. And, you know, I've got a 25-cent potential right here. So the risk reward is there. The opportunity for me to make some decent money is there. So I'm going to go ahead and take the trade. And you saw my order went in, got hit. So I'm in at 1265. Now, no, the numbers may not be clear, but I am in at 1265. That's what that shows. And I'm going red now because, you know, it's still that indecision. You know, yeah, I could have waited, try to get in at 67, 68, but you can't. If you sit here and try to top tick and bottom tick, you're going to lose. So you want to get in at a comfortable price where you've got, you know, some room to let the trade go up without stopping you out if you're going long, or go down and stopping you out if you're going short. So right now I'm just holding through this indecision. And that's all this is. Now, and the reason why I'm taping these live is because I want you to see, I want to show you just what I'm looking at. And, you know, level 2 can be manipulated heavily. So I'm watching level 2 and the time and sales. So when I see these get taken out, I want to just got to get a feel for all of these that's going through. I mean, look, this is 3 shares, 1 share. It makes no sense. 44 shares, 50 shares. You know, these are, you know, this is 1-to-1. This isn't a scale. So when you see these numbers, these are actual. And so right now, I'm waiting for the fade. And we're starting to, you know, move some in the right direction. Now, the reason why I don't have my P&L up when I'm trading is because I can sit here and look at this. And once I get $40, $50, I'm going to want to take it. You know, that was the way it was when I first started trading. I get in a trade and I get $50. Man, I'm clicking it. I'm done. And I might have left $200 on the table, but I got my $50 and ran. Yeah, I'm making money. It's just, you know, you're adding more risk, because if I make $50 and then my stop is going to be 50, you know, it doesn't really make sense. So, you know, I'm looking to make at least $100. No less than 60, but I'm looking for 100. I really don't want to take less than $60 on the trade, because it just doesn't make sense to me. Now, some people, it doesn't matter. As long as they're green, that's all that matters. But, you know, I want to cover my commissions and then some. Okay, see, look, it popped back up. It's at 1267, 66. This is the area that it kept getting stuck at before. And, you know, I already gone back and put my stop in. My stop is at 1280, which is about 4 cents over the level that I'm basing this trade off of. So I will not let it go past 1280. So now we're getting to move back down. We're getting a nice fade here. And what I like to see is once this red candle prints, once we get through this, and what I do is I look at the time here at 10:01, and I know I've still got 4 minutes left in this freaking candle, but I'm still looking at the SPY up top. The SPY is looking good, so I'm comfortable with the trade so far. Now I know it gets boring, sitting here watching the trade, but that's all I'm doing at this point. I'm just watching the price action because this is a day trade. This is a reversal, a trade that you want to see resolve relatively quickly. Um, so I'm gonna sit here and eyeball it and make sure that if I see something weird or crazy, I'm gonna jump out the trade, especially if I'm green on the trade. As you see, it went up to $50. It's gonna pull back some. And it's not uncommon for you to have $50 on the trade and then it turns around and goes red when it goes back and retests a level. A lot of people, once they get 50, then it gets down to 30, they'll click it. So I don't want to go red. I don't, but you have to allow the trade to work until it gives you a signal that it's not going to work. And you're going to see on these trades today that, it gave me some signals. It could be that I was nervous. It could be a number of things. But I took, a couple of trades off early and, left about 10 cents on the table because I didn't wait for it to hit my, target because of the price action. And, it just so happens that the price action on these was so jumpy that it made me not comfortable, in the trade. And you can see it is having trouble resolving. It's at it's down 10 cents from where it was fighting before. It was fighting 66, 67. Here it's fighting 56, 57. And you keep seeing all of these sellers come in. And this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see all these sellers come in and I wanted to see them get taken out. See, now we're down to 1250, 1251. And then this gives me some pause because this is a $half mark. And whenever it reaches these whole and $half marks, I'm going to watch the price action real close because you've got buyers and sellers sitting at these levels. You just don't know whether there are more buyers than sellers. There could be more buyers that are hiding their size, meaning you don't know how many shares they're looking to buy. So at this point, I'm sitting here and 50 is defending pretty good. And from what I see, I keep seeing all of these buyers coming in that's, more than the sellers. So I keep seeing that, and that's got me concerned. So I put my order out at 1250, which you just saw. and it wasn't getting hit. I mean, it kept printing 1250, 1250, 1250, and it wasn't getting hit. So what I had to do was go and mark it out, because for some reason my sell order wasn't getting hit, and that was it. And you see it bounced here, and you're going to see it move up a little bit, and it eventually went down. Let's move forward. You can see eventually it went down to my target, 1246, 1247, and it bounced there. So I gave away probably, 6 or 7 cents on this trade, but that's, trading. I didn't feel bad about it because I used the price action to determine, where I got out. So here you see I've got my entry was 1250, 1265, and my exit was 1251. So I picked up 14 cents. I was looking for 24, but you can't complain. I mean, I'm not red, I'm green, I'm padded my account. So, it was time to move on. So let's look at the next trade. And this is the trade that really tripped me up. Okay, this was FMSA, and this was a top reversal as well. And unfortunately, I forgot to hit record, and I, entered my order before. And what I was looking at was this rejected this level here, which is 832, and this one opened below it. Gave a little push to the upside. So I got in at 831, and 835 was going to be my stop, because, well, not really my stop, but if it closed over that level, that was going to be my stop. But I moved this up because I want to be able to, change the price as this thing goes up. But a close over this level, would have taken me out. And so right now I'm watching it, and we're going through the same thing we went through on the first trade. It's going through some indecision still. It's rejected it, but it's going through more indecision than we would like to see. We would like to see these resolve a little bit quicker. But at this point, it's not resolving as fast as we want it to. So my stop, again, is going to be over this level here. And I'm getting concerned because, I've been in the trade, for several minutes, and I'm not getting anything resolved. This is not resolving. It's kind of hanging up, and I'm getting some more pops up to 830, 831. I'm looking at 832 on the deck, and it jumps to 835. So, I'm getting a little concerned here that we may pop this level, and I may have to stop out. Now, the problem with this is it rejected it, and this was a little bit early entry, because normally I like to see it reject and then give me a red candle, or, really open weak. This one didn't, but I jumped on it anyway because watching the SPY, it was weak, it was coming down, but I should have paid more attention to it being on the 9 and all of that. But, it was what it was. I was in, So it was up to me to manage the trade. So my goal was a VWAP, which was down here about 810. So that was my target. So, while we're waiting, we were talking about, and I told you that I would kind of share with you my any troubles that I have with trying to have um lost my train of thought. Sorry, the thing beeped, and then that was it. So what we're gonna do, I know it's taking a minute, but I kind of want you to see this fight, and I want you to see how it shook me out. All right, now you see the big drop here. I've changed it because it's starting to work. I've changed it to um 810. That's my goal. But just watch this price action. You see how it dropped and then came back? That's causing me a little bit of concern. Plus, we've lost a lot of volume. And usually when you don't have volume, you get things that pop back and forth. All right, look at this candle. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is not the price action I want to see when I'm trading a reversal. And really, Here we go again. Now you can see I tried to get out at 820. I tried to get, it to hit my order. But again, I put my order out there and it wouldn't hit it. And then by the time I pulled it and got ready to do a market order, the price had jumped up and all I could really do was just wait. And really at this point, I should have just marketed it out. You see how this thing jumped? I mean, I should have just marketed it out at this point because of how it was trading. Whenever you get, that's the decision that you have to make when you get in these things. When you get stuck in this situation, are you willing to wait and see what this thing actually does? Or, are you just going to click it and get out of it? And it's really your comfort level. And see, when you see price action like this, that's a clear signal that this trade is in trouble. It's probably not going to do what we want it to do, and we need to get out. So I'm going to bump it up a little bit. You see it's pulling back. It's back up to 830 now. And I'm going to get stopped out here before long. It's at 831. And I'm not going to try to limit out because of what's been happening. And so I'm getting close. If I looked at this on a 2-minute chart, and this was actually forming a bear, it was forming a bullish trend. What it was doing, it was looked like it was trying to gear up for a flat top breakout because each one was making a higher low on the 2-minute chart. And so I knew that I really needed to be getting out. But me getting out here or waiting for it to close above this level really wouldn't make much. You're only talking about 25 bucks on a trade. And it was worth me waiting to see if this thing was going to work. And these are the type trades that really drive me insane. So, and here again, I'm trying to get out. I'm looking at getting out. I'm about to mark it out. Because this is just not, looking good, especially with the volume going. It's not a good looking trade. And now you look at the SPY, it's recovered. The market looks like it's going to try to go up. And a lot of times these tickers will try to run with it. All right, so I'm trying not to let this go too far. Let me go back a little bit. Here's where I'm going to get out. Right here is where it started trading above it opened above this resistance, and looked like it was going to hold the support. So, I ended up keeping it there. I ended up getting out. So I just had to mark it out. And so that was, a 15 dollar loss. That wasn't a big deal. Then I switched over here. I'm looking at something else. I was looking at taking this, but I never did take this trade. So let me show you what happened on this. There we go. This is what happened. This is all of the stuff. This is the candle that stopped me out. Look at this price action. This is not something that any regular trader would really hold through. If this was my stop, this level, and here this candle opened above it and closed above it, that's an out. And then, it still held this line. It tested this again. And I really wasn't paying attention to it. But then when I look back again, it tested it and made the move I was looking for. But you're not going to hold through this mess. You're just not. So I didn't feel bad about getting stopped out of this. The only thing I was kind of upset about was not being able to get filled when I was trying to get out. And I should have gone ahead and marketed it out then. When I caught it, tried to catch it back down here in the 20s, when I realized that this thing wasn't going to work. The more you trade, the more experience you're going to get, and the more you're going to have, the more screen time you're going to have, and the more you're going to be able to recognize these things and figure out a way to get out and, make a little profit off of it. You're not going to get what you want, but you recognize when it starts to go the wrong way. And the last trade I took today was on ATW. This was a bottom reversal. And you're going to see me draw the support lines on here. And I'm looking for it. I'm looking for my entry. It's already bouncing. So I got my order in and it got hit right away because I put it on the ask. I could have put it on the bid, but I probably wouldn't have got hit. So I put it on the ask and I went ahead and got it. Obviously, you saw me as soon as it got filled, I was down 15 bucks. You can't be concerned about that. If you're trying to get in a trade and you know that you're going to get, that it's a good chance that it's going to move in your direction, it's going to happen sometimes. And this time it just happened to have a 3-cent spread. All right, so now I'm drawing the support. This is the support that I was looking at, basing the trade off of. It's 12.20. So I really had 8 cents to my stop level, but that's okay. I'm gonna give it some room to test it. But if it closed below it, then I'm gonna stop out. And here I'm thinking, I'm looking for it to push through this green to red line. This is yesterday's close. And a lot of times this can act as support or resistance. So, I was looking at this. It possibly being a place where it could get hung up. And then when I looked at the 2-minute chart, I saw the 200 on the 2-minute chart right there. And when that happened and this thing started fumbling around at 1240ish, you'll see me quickly, get out of this one. I wasn't going to sit there and wait and try to put an order in, a limit order in, and then see if it gets hit. No, it was just one of these frustrating days. I don't know why my limit orders weren't getting hit. It had plenty enough liquidity, and you had plenty enough orders out there going through at that price. And it just seems like my orders were always at the back of the line. And so here we're getting this immediate resolve that I like to see. But like I said, we've got a little area here, around 40ish, that is going to cause some issues. So what I'm looking at, I took it off. When I saw that it was running into the 200 on the 2-minute chart, let me show you that real quick. There it is. I'll close the time and sales so you can get this a little bit bigger here. All right, this is the 200 right here. This is what it was running into, and this is what made me get out the trade. And yeah, it scared me out, but I've seen these things slam into this 200 on the 2-minute and pull back, and then just keep running back down. I didn't see this when I entered it, and had I seen this, I'd have had a different plan for it, or I would have expected it, and I probably wouldn't have reacted as harshly as I did. But that was the deal on that trade. It was just, I just saw something, and it caused me to react to it. And that was the last trade I really took on this account. But you see, we gained a little bit, and that's what it's going to take. It's going to take you. You're going to have small positive days. But if I do this for 2 weeks, if I made $125 every day for 2 weeks, I'm going to have a little over $1,000 added to my account at the end of 2 weeks, which gives me $6,000 buying power. The more shares you can buy, the faster you can grow your account. But you still have to focus on the right setups, and you still have to keep your risk tolerance in place. You have to get stopped out. If I stop myself out on this other trade here, and then it eventually worked, if I did this on the next trade is probably going to take off, and I may end up putting a big dent in my account. So you have to make sure you stick to your stops. And you have to make sure, if you can, let the trade work. If you see things that really give you pause and you're unsure about it, and you're up 10 or 15 cents on the trade, take it. You have covered your commission costs by 5 or 6 times. So take the trade. You're good. You just don't want to take $25, $30 a trade, $40 a trade, because you're barely covering your commission. And then if you have a losing trade and you take a $50 hit, and you had 3 trades where you took pennies, you're going to end up red on the day. So, just make sure that you keep that in the back of your mind. But I believe that's about it. Also, one thing I do want to say, if you are trading in the simulator and you're trading with $25,000 or $50,000, and when you start trading live, you're only going to trade with 1,000 or 1,500, you're going to have trouble. And that's the issues that I'm dealing with now, is trying to revert back to trading with a small amount of money. You know, I'm used to going in and scaling out. And here I can't scale out. I have to go in, hold it until I hit my first target and take it out and take it off. And then once I start increasing my position size to where I can take half off at the first target and then take the other half at the next target. You know, just it's going to take time. I mean, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I want you to know and I want you to see how long it's going to take me and how patient and methodical I have to be about growing this account. So that's it for today. I hope everybody has a great evening, a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow in chat.